Hi there YouTubers and 3D Studio Max lovers. In today's episode we're going to talk about the Cuero Armchair. As you can see, this is the Cuero Armchair. I'm going to show you how to model the frame for the chair, how to model the skin of the chair, and in the last part we're going to talk about the fur of the chair, how to model it, how to actually make it, to make it look like this. So yeah, if you guys are ready, let's jump in. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is to add this image into my 3D Studio Max to have it as a reference for the object. So what I'm doing now, I'm just having this image from a photo that I taken from my house. I have this chair at home. Yeah, I'm a lucky guy. And yeah, I'm just gonna add this. Also, I'm having here some dimensions for the chair to scale the whole object to the real dimensions. So in the moment that I'm going to start creating the frame, everything is going to be in the right scale. So yeah, as you can see, everything is going really fast because otherwise the video will be so very long. So the first thing that I'm doing here is, as you can see, I just took the line and I'm trying to create this diamond. So I'm tracing the real image. Now I'm just made a couple of cylinders so I can have the real height of these diamonds in the corners. So yeah, and right now I'm just trying to arrange the height to be as close as possible with the reality. So I'm just using fillets and I'm trying to figure out exactly how to adjust them so they are going to be in the correct height. For those who are on my Patreon, they can download the files from my Patreon in case they really want to make this from scratch. Or for the ones that are paying on my Patreon, they can also download the 3D model with the fur and textures from there. Okay, so what I'm trying to do now is to try to find the middle . So in the moment that I'm going to make a copy in the middle of this object, I can just have the second legs in the right position. But as you are going to see, yeah, this is not actually going to work. So anyway, what I'm going to do next is to take actually the middle of this intersection between these two legs, and I'm just gonna create a mirror of the legs that I already created on the left side. So in this way I'm going to be sure that it's more or less close to where I need to have it. As you can see, I already have an initial 3D model for this, and it's already looking quite well, I would say. And yeah, it's quite close to the reality. The only thing that I need to do is just to move them a little bit, because in reality they are not intersected, they are just welded on the side. So yeah, this is looking good already. I'm just saving my file now. And I'm moving forward with some details. I just need to create here the place from where the legs are actually sitting on. So yeah, I'm just doing that right now. As you can see, the second legs of the armchairs are made with instance, so whatever changes I'm doing here, they're gonna be made also on the other ones. Okay, now it's quite correct, I will say. Okay, I'm quite happy with the shape right now. I think it's working very well. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just applying a turbo smooth because it's going to work much better than the sweep. And yeah, I'm just gonna try to add less faces to the original shape. Here I'm just gonna create two chamfers, so to be sure that this part is gonna stay as it is in the moment that I'm applying turbo smooth, as you can see here. Okay, now we were going to the second part where I'm creating the skin, which is going to have the fur on it. So I'm starting with a simple plane, and I'm just trying to adjust this to have it more or less closer to the frame. This part, it's better to start with bigger polygons to be sure that they are working well, and then while you are working on the object you are adding more polygons. So in the end we're gonna add the turbo smooth to the whole thing, and everywhere where we have corners they're all going to become more round. So as you can see right now, I'm just trying to follow the shape in the plan, and then I'm gonna move also on the side, just trying to go slowly one by one, to get the right shape. Another thing that I don't need to forget is the fact that here we need to create only half of the shape, because the other half is going to be made with a symmetry. This part from the back is a little bit higher. In the moment that I'm applying the turbo smooth, I can already see my final shape. So this is already looking good. Now I'm applying the symmetry, so I can have the other half that is missing right now. It doesn't need to be perfect, but yeah, it's already looking quite good, I will say. I'm not very happy with the topology right now, but yeah, it's a work in progress, so you can always come back and try to fix it. This is the good part of having less polygons on the object. So as you can see, I'm working only on the left side, and the right side is getting updated right away because I'm using a symmetry, and yeah, it's getting fixed in the same time. It's already looking quite nice, I would say. Now I'm just adding some extra polygons on it so I can create the roundness of this part here. So what I'm doing now is adding a shell over, because I want to create the pockets where the frame is meeting the skin. So the skin is actually having some pockets on the top part and bottom part, and the frame is entering those pockets. So this is how it's everything working together. What I'm going to do next, I'm just going to delete some polygons, because I want to keep, I don't need the back of the skin, I just need the front and those pockets. So what I'm trying to do now is to create those pockets by deleting the back of the skin. You can see I'm making some selections, I'm deleting, then I'm selecting the back, and now I have those pockets, which are not perfect, but the rest I can create here. So what I'm doing now, I'm just creating a couple of polygons that are missing, so I can have the closed pocket. So right now I'm trying to adjust everything a little bit according to the shape, and also to create the roundness of the frame. It doesn't need to be perfect, as I said, because everything is gonna be hidden inside the pockets. It just needs to feel like it's correct. If you are a perfectionist, then please don't mind and make it perfect. Okay, as you can see, I'm not very happy with the shape because the back is not following very well the frame, so I'm just trying to adjust that right now by moving the vertices. So it's very important to have less polygons when you work with editable polys. In this way you're gonna have less work. If you have more polys, then you're gonna have more work. This part is also quite important for the next part that we're going to make, which is the unwrap of the skin, so we can add the textures on it, because when you are working with this kind of shapes, you can't use a normal UVV on this, because it's not gonna follow, the texture is not gonna follow on the skin the shape of the object. So as you can see, it's already looking quite nice. It's not perfect, but it's going in the right direction. Just need to adjust this part, which is a little bit higher. Okay, so right now I just collapsed everything into an editable mesh, because then the next part we're going to do the unwrap of this shape. Yeah, I wasn't happy with the fact that I forgot to make this a little bit more round, so I'm just going back to my original object. Okay, this is looking good already. I'm quite happy with it. It's not perfect, as I said, but yeah, this is just for you guys to understand how to model something fast. It took me almost 2 hours to model the whole shape, also with the frames. So yeah, most of the time it took you around 2-3 hours to model a chair like this. As you can see now, I'm trying to adjust a little bit the shape. Okay, right now I think it's looking much better, and it's yeah, almost done. Now I'm just gonna do the unwrapping for this. So as you can see, in the moment that I did that, it's already showing me some cutouts, which are the green lines in here. So I'm going to create a couple of more, because otherwise I can't do the unwrap. So yeah, I'm just gonna make some cutouts normal. In reality, they should be more or less the same as they should be the same as in reality, but yeah, depends on you how you want to make them. As you can see here, I'm just yeah, trying to cut the corners, let's say, and yeah, first time I'm trying with these big pieces, but then I'm gonna realize that it's not really working like that. So I'm gonna need also to cut also the big pieces in smaller pieces. You're gonna see soon what I'm going to do. So I'm doing another cut here in the middle, trying to simplify my original shape. And also here in the corners, I'm gonna try to do the same thing, because these are quite complex shapes, so it's quite hard to unwrap them in the correct way. Okay, now I think it should work. Yeah, we have the first piece, which is looking amazing. Also the second one, which I just need to rotate this. Try to arrange them in such a way that they are quite close to each other. In this way, my texture is going to be perfect. As you can see, some pieces are bigger than in the reality. Yeah, this is happening when you do unwrapping, but at the end you can scale all of them in the right scale. You'll see that some pieces are working very easy, some other they're not working that easy. Normally it depends a lot on the way that you are actually modeling these kind of shapes. So this is why it's very important to have a nice, good modeling. So in this way it's gonna be much easier for you to do the unwrapping. As you can see, with this piece it's not working very easy. Which is this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna cut also this long piece into two smaller pieces, and this way it's gonna be much easier for me to manipulate them. Okay, now I have a picture with the fur that I have at home from the chair. That's my cat. So I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna try to add a little bit more fur on the side. So I'm gonna create a bigger texture than it actually is. The idea is to have the color only of the fur in the right space. In this way I can add my fur in 3D Studio Max afterwards. That is just gonna use this as a base element. As you can see, this is how it's looking right now, and this is happening because all these parts that I cut in here that I unwrapped, they are not they're not close to each other. So this is a problem. So right now I'm trying to put them together. Indeed, this way the texture is just following the shape, as you can see. So yeah, right now I'm just trying to add all these small pieces close to each other in the right place, so I can have the correct texture on it. This piece is way too big, so I'm also going to cut these into smaller pieces. In this way I can manipulate them much easier. Okay, now I just finished with that. I'm just adding the hair and fur into this. As you can see, I'm just using a maximum count of 10,000 hairs, so you don't need that many. And here I'm adding the material and the colors on the tint and root color, so I can have the right colors. And now I'm just adding here more hairs, and I'm making a first render just to check how the hairs are actually looking. Okay, this is the first render. As you can see, it's looking quite nice. The only problem is that all the hairs are directly perpendicular on the surface. So this can be quite a big problem. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just gonna take the brush and try to arrange the hairs with a selection in different directions on the surface. In this way I can have more randomness on the hairs, and this is going to look more realistic. So now I'm gonna do another render. As you can see, I'm not very happy with it, so yeah, I'm just gonna work a little bit more on it. This is quite a hard thing to do, and to make it correct you always need to make it work a little bit, then come back, check how it's looking, and so on. So as you can see, it's quite a lot of work when you're working with hairs, because everything needs to look a little bit random, but in the same time it needs to look good. So yeah, as you can see, it's a lot of work with it, and yeah, sometimes you can't really go back because you don't have a Ctrl-Z when you are working with hair, so you just need to start from scratch. And yeah, but yeah, right now I think the whole shape is looking quite good. Overall, I'm just gonna arrange a little bit these hairs on this side, because they should be a little bit lower in my opinion, because that's the place where you are sitting on, so most of the time they are going to be a little bit flat in that area. But other than that, I think it's looking quite good overall. I'm quite happy with it. For those who are following me on my Patreon, they can download this 3D model and the hairs from my Patreon. It's all there. So for the rest of you, you can just follow my tutorial here, and you can create your own 3D model from this. So yeah, thumbs up in case you liked it, share it with your friends, and see you in the next one. Bye.